I'm 101 years old, and I'm about to tell you something no one else ever will. Not your parents, not your therapist, not the self-help books stacked on your nightstand. Because this truth isn't comforting. It isn't motivational, and it doesn't make you feel better about your choices. It hurts. I've been alive for more than a century. I've buried 3 husbands, 2 children, most of my friends, and every single person I knew before I turned 40. I've watched the world reinvent itself again and again, from handwritten letters to instant messages, from black and white photographs to faces glowing through screens. And through all of it, there's one truth that follows me every single day. We live like we have forever, when in reality, we barely have anything at all. And here's the part that surprises people. I didn't learn this at 90, not at 80. I learned it when I was 33 years old. But it took me nearly 70 years to understand what that moment was trying to teach me. It was October 14th, 1955, a Friday. I remember because I had plans that weekend. I was going dancing with my husband, Robert. We'd been married 8 years. We had 2 little boys, James and William. Robert worked at the steel mill, a good man, reliable, the kind who kissed my forehead every morning before leaving for work and said, "See you tonight, Dorothy." Except that Friday, he didn't come home. There was an accident at the mill. They told me it was quick. They told me he didn't suffer. They always say that. What no one tells you is this. When someone dies suddenly, they take all your unfinished moments with them. Every "I love you" you didn't say. Every apology you planned to make later. Every moment you were too busy, too tired, or too distracted to be fully there. That night, sitting alone at our kitchen table, I made myself a promise. I promised I would never waste another day. I promised I would live intentionally, love openly, and never postpone joy again, and I meant it. But here's the truth no one prepares you for. I broke that promise almost immediately. I truly believed I had changed. After Robert died, I held my boys tighter. I said, "I love you" more often. I tried to be softer, more patient, more aware. For a while I was, but life doesn't slow down just because your heart is broken. Bills still arrive. Children still need shoes. Work still demands your energy. And slowly, so quietly you don't even notice, it happens. You drift. I remarried in 1958. His name was Charles. He was kind, gentle, safe. We built a life together. 42 years. 42 years sounds like a long time. It feels permanent when you're inside it. But here's what I didn't understand at 33, and what took me decades to fully grasp. Surviving tragedy doesn't mean you've learned from it. You can cry. You can make promises. You can swear you'll never take life for granted again, and still, you will forget. You will slip back into autopilot. You will start believing you have time again. That's the real danger. Not tragedy, forgetting. Charles would come home from work and want to talk. Sometimes I listened. Sometimes I nodded while folding laundry. Sometimes I said, "Not now, I'm tired." Ordinary Tuesday nights. Do you know what I would give for one of those ordinary Tuesdays back? Not the vacations, not the anniversaries, not the big celebrations, just one boring, uneventful evening where he's sitting across from me at the kitchen table. Because here's what no one tells you about growing old. The ordinary moments are the ones that disappear first. You don't lose people all at once. You lose them in pieces. In the sound of their laugh you can't quite remember. In the way they used to say your name. In the stories you didn't fully hear because you assumed you'd hear them again. My biggest regret about those 42 years with Charles isn't the arguments. It isn't the money problems. It isn't the stress. It's all the small moments I treated like they were guaranteed. All the times I chose productivity over presence. All the times I thought, I'll pay attention tomorrow. Tomorrow is a dangerous word because tomorrow quietly turns into never. And the cruelest part? You don't notice it happening. You think you're doing fine. You think you're balancing everything. You think you're appreciating people enough. Until one day you're standing beside a hospital bed again, and you realize appreciation that comes too late doesn't change anything. Charles's heart gave out after 42 years together, and when I sat alone in that quiet house for the second time in my life, I realized something terrifying. I had learned the lesson once, and I had forgotten it again. Loss doesn't get easier with age. That's the lie people tell. You don't become stronger. You don't become numb. You just become more familiar with the weight. By the time I was 65, I thought I understood grief. I thought I knew how to carry it. Then my son William died. He was 45 years old. Cancer. I was sitting beside his hospital bed, holding his hand, watching the machines breathe for him, and he looked at me and said, "Mom, I'm sorry I didn't call more." That sentence broke something in me that never healed, because in that moment I saw the truth clearly. We weren't apologizing because we didn't love each other. We were apologizing because we kept believing we had more time. I wanted to shake him. I wanted to scream, "Why are we saying this now? Why didn't we call each other just to hear a voice? Why did we save our love for later?" But I didn't say any of that. I lied. I told him we had enough time. We didn't. After he died, the silence in my life changed. It wasn't just quiet anymore. It was absence. Every empty chair reminded me of a conversation that never happened. Every ringing phone that wasn't him felt like another missed chance. And here's the part people don't talk about. Grief isn't just missing someone. It's replaying your life and noticing every moment you weren't fully there, every distracted response, every rushed goodbye, every "I'll call you later" that never came. I thought losing a child would finally fix me. I thought the pain would force me to stay awake for the rest of my life. But humans don't work that way. We adapt, we survive, and eventually we forget again. That's what scares me the most, not death. Forgetting, because forgetting is how you lose people while they're still alive. I married a third time. His name was Frank. We were together for 21 years. And even after everything I had learned, even after burying a husband and a child, I still caught myself scrolling through my phone while he was talking, still sighed when he told the same story again, still thought, "I'll really listen tomorrow." There wasn't always a tomorrow. Frank died 2 years ago at 98, and standing there for the third time in my life, I realized something unbearable. Experience doesn't protect you from regret. Only attention does. You're probably listening to this and thinking, "This is sad." Or maybe, "Of course everyone dies." And you're right, but that's not the point. The point isn't that everyone dies. The point is that you're living like you won't. You act like you're the exception, like your parents will always be there, like your relationships will survive neglect, like there will be time later. There won't. Later is a story we tell ourselves so we don't have to change today. I see it in young people all the time. I saw it in my great-great-granddaughter last month. Her name is Sophie. She's 16. She came to visit me and spent most of the afternoon staring at her phone. I didn't say anything. What would be the point? She thinks this moment is permanent. She thinks I'll always be here. She thinks there will be another visit. There won't be. And someday, years from now, she'll remember that afternoon. She'll remember the quiet room, the old woman in the chair, the phone in her hands, and the regret will arrive long after the moment is gone. That's what I'm trying to save you from, not the regret of big mistakes. You can forgive yourself for those. I'm talking about the regret of absence, being physically present but mentally somewhere else, treating people like they're renewable. They aren't. Your grandmother, if she's still alive, call her today, not tomorrow, today, because I am a grandmother. And I can tell you exactly what she's doing right now. She's sitting somewhere quiet, maybe looking at old photos, maybe staring out a window, and she's telling herself she understands why people don't call, that everyone is busy, that it's okay. It isn't. Your parents, if you're lucky enough to still have them, won't be here forever. When they're gone, you won't care about the arguments. You won't care about who was right. You'll care about the calls you didn't make, the visits you postponed, the moments you could have just sat with them and didn't. I know this because I am that parent now. I have one living son. James is 76. He visits every Sunday, rain or shine, and even that doesn't feel like enough, because when you truly love someone, no amount of time ever feels sufficient. Every time he leaves, I watch him walk to his car and I think, will I see him again? At my age, every goodbye might be the last. That isn't morbid. It's mathematics. And here's the part you don't want to hear. It's the same for you. Every goodbye might be your last too. You just don't believe it yet. I'm not afraid anymore, not of dying. My body is tired. It has been working for more than 100 years, and it's ready to rest. What I am afraid of is that you might waste your life the way I wasted so much of mine. Because here's the truth I learned far too late. The moments that matter are not the big ones. They're not your wedding day. They're not your graduation. They're not the promotion you're chasing. Those moments are beautiful, but they aren't what you'll think about at the end. You'll think about a random Tuesday afternoon when your father tried to show you how to fix the sink, and you were patient instead of annoyed. You'll think about a quiet Saturday morning when you made pancakes with your kids and no one was in a hurry. You'll think about a walk with someone you loved, where you actually listened instead of planning what to say next. Those moments, the ordinary, boring, unremarkable ones, are the ones that stay, and they're available to you right now. But you have to choose them. You have to fight for them, because everything in this world is designed to pull you away. Your phone, your work, your ambitions, your fears, your endless list of things that feel urgent but aren't. If I could go back to the 33-year-old version of myself, standing alone in that kitchen the night Robert died, this is what I would tell her. You're going to break the promise you're making tonight. You're going to forget over and over again because you're human, but that's not your real job. Your real job is this: remember and return. Every time you drift into distraction, return to presence. Every time you take someone for granted, return to attention. Every time you choose convenience over connection, return to love. Not perfectly, persistently. I'm 101 years old. I've been alive for 36,965 days, and I can count on two hands the number of days I was fully, completely present. That is my real regret. Not that I didn't achieve more, not that I didn't make more money, not that I didn't travel more, that I sleepwalked through my own life. Don't do what I did. Don't wait 70 years to learn this. Don't wait until the people you love are gone to realize you should have loved them better while they were here. Stop reading this and call someone you love. Stop reading this and sit with someone in silence. Stop reading this and really look at the people in your life while they're still here to be looked at, because I promise you, with everything I have left, later never comes.